This is your host, Steve from the back, coming at you again with a rant. So, I think the last rant I went on was kind of like it was a funny rant. It was a lighthearted rant. It was literally a rant about blackfishing. If you don't know what blackfishing is, look it up. It'll probably make you laugh. I don't know, it may offend you. It doesn't offend me. I don't get offended by certain things. Certain things offend me. A lot of things don't. Because I look at it like this, man. You gotta be grateful for the things that are actually mean something in your life, and there's certain things that are just so petty, such as blackfishing, that why would you even care? Oh, they're stealing our culture. If you don't know, I'm a black man, so they're stealing our culture. You can't steal someone's culture, man. And if you can manage to steal someone's culture, then you gotta realize we live in a world of survival of the fittest. If you're bad enough and big enough and tough enough or whatever that you can literally rob a race of its culture, well then all I could do is accept it and maybe give you a hand clap at the end of the day. If you're sly enough, or if you're attractive enough, or if you're anything enough to steal a culture, then this might sound crazy to some people, but to me I'm like, well, how's that a bad thing? Because that's like me saying I'm gonna walk up to Disneyland and put Disneyland in my fucking pocket and walk off with it. Like, seriously? How can you steal the culture? Now, maybe it's a possible thing, but I'll say it again. If you manage to do that, that's just, then I guess somehow you just won. I look at life like this, man. I'm a guy who has been looked over, jumped over, passed over, like any other man, or like some women, the same thing. You've been a man always chooses some woman over you, and if you're a man like me, a woman always chooses some man over you, and this actually kind of ties into what my rant's kind of going to be about. It's like you run into some women that they're sometimes they're not single, sometimes they're single, sometimes they're just not interested, sometimes they're just not attracted enough. This and that's wrong, and it just doesn't seem to work, doesn't seem to fit. You have female friends sometimes, and for whatever reason the female friend isn't attracted to you in a certain type of way, so you don't, it's kind of like either you fucking fail or you win, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, now, don't get me wrong, you will be steaming mad and you will be fucking pissed off. And you will be, seriously pissed off. But the thing is this, is a win is a win and a lose is a lose, and at some point you just have to learn that if you just lose, either you get better, or you will just always lose. Or maybe go somewhere else and try another fucking game, or, try somewhere else, because, you don't always just fucking win things in this life. So, I'm just gonna keep it real with, black people, us as black people. A lot of times we complain and we say shit like, oh, the white man keeps keeping me down. It's the white man. It's like, well, if it is, then I guess you just have to be better than him, then, right? Because at the end of the day, if someone's keeping you down, you still have to overcome them. That's like if I break into your house, right? And I decide that I'm going to try to literally murder you in your own house, right? And I jump on you, you're going to have to fight me off, right? So one of us is going to have to get up and leave, one of us is going to have to survive, right? So the winner survives. That's the point I'm trying to make. You know what I mean? That's just how it's always been. That's the way this world works. Down to the physical, bare bone minimum of how physicality works in this world, right? When you're born into this world. Some people are just weak, some are strong. Some people are more attractive, some people aren't. Some people have talents and money and things, and it just, you lose, you know what I mean? And you can try to strive to win, but, you know, and I get it's retarded, but the thing is, you know, you gotta realize that, you know, saying things like, someone stole this and someone stole that, all you're doing is proving to me, at least as a person, that you're not strong enough, or maybe you're not attractive enough, maybe you're not smart enough, maybe you're just not, you're lacking something that shows me that you can't overcome that. You know what I mean? Or maybe you're not even trying to overcome whatever it is, just claiming that has been like taken or this or, because, hey, like I just said, you know, it's a battle. Everything is a fucking battle. So, what I was gonna rant about basically is how, you know, when I look at the religions of the world, especially Christianity, I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I'll say it like I always do. This is a satanic channel. Satanism has a lot to do with the animal kingdom. Satanism has a lot to do with reality. Satanism has a lot to do with practicality. It has a lot to do with nature. It has a lot to do with primal, the carnal, you know what I mean? Reality, no bullshit. Basically, take all the bullshit and fluffy nonsense out, get to the real point, and see what you can work with, right? That's Satanism, right? Not like Christianity. Christianity's full of a lot of horseshit. So, you know, I look at it like, see, it doesn't matter if it was like an institution, or if it was a power, or if it was a teaching or a religion. At some point, there's always going to be human beings that want to try to reduce man down to something that is not natural and that is really not man. You know, kind of like Christianity. You know, it's like you want to try to strip man of what he or she really is. Whether you're gay, straight, whatever you are, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we're all pretty much very similar. So, we all have like a very primal, very base, very like natural part of us that is normal. And the thing about religions like that, a lot of times they like to try to change. They think, well, they would love to think that they could actually ever change that. They could cage that. They could put chains on that. They could control you, because that's really what it's about. They just want to control you. You know, they want to turn you into something that you're not and make you what they want you to be. Not what you want to be, maybe, but they want you to be what they want you to be. You know, so to me, like I said, I always say, you know, that's a load of shit, and that's not gonna fucking ever happen to me. I'll keep it real. I'll beat the shit out of you, and I'll stab you in the neck. Okay, I'll put it to you like this. I'm not going to be the one that you're going to turn into anything. You know what I mean? I'll be damned if you try to fit me into any fucking box. If I go into a box, it's because I want to go in a box. You're not going to fit me into any box or try to corner me or push me into any fucking thing that I don't want to go into. Because, like a wild animal that we all are, I'll fight you to the death, and you know, that's that. That's how I look at shit like that. You know, it's like you can't tell me I can't think this way, I can't say this, I can't dress like this, or I can't do this, or this is toxic, this is toxically masculine, this is toxic. You can't tell me no bullshit like that, man. And another thing I'll also say, me being a black person, you know, there's a certain amount of dignity and pride that you have as a fucking black man, where you're not just gonna fucking take no fucking bullshit, okay, from anybody, right? I mean, I could even give you a story or two, but I'm gonna be nice with this. I'm not gonna be mean, and I'm gonna like call anyone out, you know, or say any like shit like that. But I could give you some stories, man, where like literally I had to pretty much almost punk a person down. Like literally, it's funny because I kind of uploaded a video to where, you know, this some guy tried to hop over some young kid's fence, and then he tried to get in the kid's face and talk shit or whatever, or, you know, get rowdy or whatever, and he got dropped. You know what I mean? The kid was a trained fighter, right? Dropped him. And it was just like, you know, it's a classic bully trying to, you know, enforce. But that's the thing. It's like, you know, especially, I'm just being real. You know what I mean? Especially me being who I am, and being a black man. It just doesn't work like that, man. You're not gonna just fucking just let people fucking try to put me in a fucking box. Like, oh, you know, no, it just doesn't. It's not gonna fucking work that way for you. Life is not gonna be that simple for you, at least when you come into contact with me. And I also have to say, you know, I look at it like, when I fucking come into your supposed, what do you call it? Your area or your environment or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Whatever the fuck I'm coming in there with is what I'm coming in there with. You know what I mean? So, it might be uncomfortable, shit might change, the atmosphere might change, simply because I'm there, you know, and that just is what it is. Like I said again, it is what it fucking is. It's kind of like the laws of the jungle. Survival of the fittest. I mean, it is what it is, man. It's the way it fucking goes. So, I'm gonna say, like I was saying before, religions, institutions, trends, all types of dumb shit love to try to cage man and turn man into something that he isn't. Mostly for the sake of weeding out competition, weeding out rebellion, and then ultimately trying to control human beings, whether they be female, male, trans, homosexual, bisexual, straight, whatever you are, whatever, a fucking, a green frog, whatever the hell you are, I'm telling you, they want to control, and when I say they, I mean certain institutions, certain religions, they want to control, they want to deceive and control. One thing that I find really fucked up when I look at this whole thing is like when I have to talk about this because it just has to be said. Like, I feel like I'm a guy going off and just like calling out everybody. Like, I'm calling out this person, calling out that person, you know, just, whatever, you know. But I'm gonna call out the government. Okay, what I'm about to do, I'm about to start calling out the government in this video. So the government likes to try to hide and cover things up, right? The government wants you to believe that there's no such thing as an extraterrestrial. There's no thing as a conspiracy. There's no thing, like, the origins of man are what you believe in your Bible. The origins of man are this. No. What they don't want you to even think is this. They don't want you to even know what your true origins are, right? They don't even want you to know that part of you is so much connected to nature, part of you is so primal, that they don't want you literally to even tap into that. They don't want you to really think even that deeply, and they don't want rebellion. You know, at the end of the day, they do not want any type of, like, I mean, no one does, but they don't want a rebellion. They don't want you asking those type of questions, and they sure as hell don't want, well, that's kind of like a paradox, but part of it is they don't really want a mass. When I say mass, I mean like huge. I mean like a global, massive awakening to where people are thinking, you know, not only are we going to seek out our origins, but we're also going to try to reach out to like other intelligences, other intelligent races and things like that. And when someone's saying other races, I mean other than human beings, you know, they start thinking, well, maybe we should start reaching out to other sources because we realize that we're not alone out here. We realize that even our own origin as human beings, and this is a thing that like I've kind of known a little bit about for a long time. I uploaded a video that was, I'm not even going to mention what the video was, but I uploaded a video that kind of talked about it a little bit, but and I'm not going to really go into it, but the thing is, you know, it's at the end of the day, you just would never imagine. You know, my whole thing in this rant is that I understand, to a degree, components of how this world works. I get the point. I get it. I get how a lot of things are simply small parts of one big machine. And I understand that. And I understand that not everything is just a fucking conspiracy. And not everything is just, you know, negative and this and that. But what I'm doing is I am addressing very negative, very retarded things that I see that go on. You know what I mean? And one of them, like I said again, is this whole, you know, this whole how do I say this? This whole thing about, like, you know, us as human beings being so misguided over, like, years and years and years and centuries, to the point to where not only are we literally, like, reliant on, you know, certain institutions and things for our own well-being, but we are in such a state as a civilization that, like, I'll give you an example. Like, for instance, there's no real such thing as, like, I guess how do I say this? Ultimate equality amongst, like, every single person. Obviously, that's not realistic. But there is a way where things could possibly be better, right? I've talked about this before. Possibly better. When I say better, I just mean better. Maybe more advanced. Maybe a world where there's not so much pollution in it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a world where things like hunger are actually not a thing anymore. Things like energy sources and things like that are not something that, like, wars or anything would have to be fought over. You know, things like big time scandals and shit like that are not really a thing because there's institutions now. It would take probably a very long time for us to be so advanced to where those things are pretty much completely eradicated that I just talked about, that I just mentioned. But what I feel like is, and you've probably heard people say this before, like, and you look at them and you say, oh, he's just one of those conspiracy people again. Oh, you know, it's one of those people. And I'm not one of those people, because I'm gonna keep it real with you. You know, I wouldn't be talking about this stupid shit if I was wealthy. If I was the guy that gets up in the morning, has a, you know, a nice car, doesn't even really have to be a nice car, but, you know, has a car, has the extra money to have a car, drive, and, you know, be with my girlfriend, or maybe, I don't know, maybe if I'm single or whatever, like I am now, you know, I'll go to the fucking beach with two chicks or some shit, you know, or one of my boys and, like, some chicks or something at the beach and hang out or some shit, or go on a hiking trip or a camping trip or something. You know, if I was in that position, I probably wouldn't be talking to you, but, well, I don't know, maybe I would. But I probably wouldn't be talking to you about this shit. I probably wouldn't. I actually don't know if I would. I'll be real. Maybe I wouldn't. But I'm talking to you about this shit now because I was thinking about this because I was at the park today, right? And, you know, I was just like, you know, I know that the way that things are structured are for a reason. I know how most of us live. People like me, you know, you get up in the morning, you go and you get up and you go to your goddamn little job, drag your ass out of bed, you take your fucking shower. I mean, I hope you take a shower. I mean, I know some of you motherfuckers out here are nasty as fuck, and I have to just say that because, like, you know, I'm thankful for those who understand what hygiene is, But I'm just gonna say, I know I'm going off on a tangent right now, but I'm veering off. But look, I've seen some nasty shit here and there in my days, and it's just disgusting. It's not good. It's not okay. Okay, so I don't know, man. Men and women, you need to learn. And I don't want to hear none of that retard shit. I'm just gonna say it as it is, man. You can get mad if you want. I don't want to hear none of that retard shit. Like, I'm afraid of water. I'm traumatized because my mom made me shower when I was 15. Motherfucker, if you smell like a fucking dirty asshole, dick cheese, pussy cheese in the fucking sewer mixed together or whatever, I mean, like, you gotta understand that at some point someone's gonna get pissed off. Now, I'm not even gonna go further than that. But look, did you get how that works now? And I'm saying that because, like, okay, I'll give you an example, right? So I visited a friend today, right? And nothing in her house, right? Nothing in her house had a nasty smell like that. She didn't stink like that. She didn't smell like that. I never had a problem going in her house and smelling no foul, nasty shit like that, right? So that tells me something. It tells me maybe this girl, just like a normal person, knows what hygiene is, obviously. But, you know, I know some other people, and I've experienced this to where, I don't know, they just don't seem to have such a handle on, like, what hygiene is, or, I don't know, people can't smell, and can't this and can't that, and I don't know, it's a lot of can'ts, you know. But, like I was saying, we live in little houses, you know, we get up in the morning, we do shit we don't want to do, obviously, for whatever reason, and, you know, I feel like we live in a very, like, detached, though, like, it's the thing, what I'm saying is, there's a lot of, like, detachment from not only just spiritual things, but it's a huge detachment from, like, literally anything else besides that weird little circle. And what I mean by circle, I mean the cycle. It's like, you know, you get up, you're motherfucking addicted to coffee anyway. I know you are, you stupid motherfucker, so don't argue me on this. You get up, you drink your fucking coffee, like I know you do. You know, you go your ass to whatever job or whatever the fuck you go to. I don't know, maybe you even roll over and fuck some sorry motherfucker that you sleep in the bed with or some shit. I don't know, maybe you do some shit like that. I don't know, you look at your pet cat or some dumb shit. You get up, you take your fucking shower, I hope, or maybe not, whatever. You know, you drive your sorry ass to your location or whatever the fuck you do. And, you know, you go the fuck back home after. You don't really think too much, you don't change a lot of shit. You get caught, it's like you get caught in the cycle, man. And all I'm really trying to say in this rant is, I know this is by design. I've talked about this before. We live in a world where literally people have been almost, I would almost dare say, what's the word? Selectively bred, intentionally bred in design to be almost slaves that don't even really think. And it's actually ironic because this almost kind of ties into what I was talking about before about, you know, the actual real origins of man. Like, I actually believe a lot of this is true. That, you know, we were genetically altered in pretty much somewhat engineered, but we were used kind of almost like slaves. And the thing is, it's the same trend. It's literally the same fucking trend. You know, you gotta understand, like, literally people sometimes, and me myself included, the only difference I think between me and what I'm saying, people I'm speaking about is, I'm talking, and I'm not talking about you if this is not you, I'm talking about those that literally their mind is so brainwashed that they don't understand that there's so much out there besides what they think exists. There's so much outside of themselves and in themselves, but they don't even think about it, it's like they don't think about that. They just do the same thing repetitively, and they don't understand that they're missing certain really crucial things. Like, they're not even walking around with their eyes open. They're not even realizing, well, you know, why is this way, or why? Like, they're not thinking deeply. They're kind of just on autopilot, and they're just doing things. It's kind of like the hygiene shit I was just talking about. You know, it's like, you know, well, some dude or some girl yelled some shit like, well, I never had anyone complain. You know, I no one ever complained that I smell, or, oh, my boyfriend can't smell. And I'm thinking, oh, so your boyfriend can't smell, right? But I can. Or it's like some shit like, oh, well, you know, a male say some shit like, oh, I haven't showered in 4 days or some shit, and I'm thinking like, what? Like, what? I mean, are you, like, I don't know, man. Is this a survival? Hey, I'll even say that. I'll even go out on a limb and say this. If you want to shower, that's fine. It's just like I said, not everyone's going to be so, not everybody's going to be so eager to even converse with you, because you gotta understand, we don't want to smell that. Like, most people just don't want to smell that type of shit. You know what I mean? You gotta understand, most human beings, we don't want to smell those things. We will if we have to, if we're in like a fucking survival situation or something. But we don't want to smell like that, nor do we ever want to smell that. Like, we don't want to smell your funky pits, feet, dick cheese, pussy, and asshole. We don't want to and funky breath for those that just don't brush their teeth. Like, I mean, why are you not brushing your teeth? I just don't get it. You know, it's like, well, you just, oh, so you don't want to brush your teeth. Okay. So, you know, I'm just saying, like, you know, people sometimes don't think. It's like they just go in this constant spiral, constant cycle, constant circle, not even willing to try new things, terrified, have literal mental issues, afraid to try new things. They have past traumas, so instead of trying to branch out, because of these past traumas, they would rather cling to, like, I guess what they think keeps them safe, but it really just keeps them in suffering, and they just reoccur and do the same thing over and over, get the same result, and you know, it just kind of sucks. But you know, I have to say that. I have to say that. I'm not gonna say anything. And I know this shit has been said before, but guess what? This is my fucking channel. This is my version of that. Right? So someone's gonna say, oh, I've heard this shit before. You ain't saying nothing. Well, you're fucking hearing it from me. So this is my version of that. So, you know, I just really get sick of a lot of things I see. And you know, what someone say, well, what's your solution? You know what my solution is? My solution is to try to make money in a way, get a certain amount of money, get certain things, and then once I'm actually married, or, you know, getting ready to get married, obviously at that point, that's my biggest goal in life, is to be married, find a nice wife. At that point, I'm going to be worried about my fucking self, her, and whatever it is going on. Whether I have a family or not, kids or not, whatever. Or if she has kids, or whatever the fuck, however that works. I look at it like, that's my priority, and I'm going to be taking care of that situation, right? And trying to live a happy life with those people. But I just figure I'm going to express these things because it's very hard. Like I said, you can't put me in a fucking box. I'm going to say something. So it's hard for me to just walk around and see the stupidest shit. I see some really dumb shit. I just do. I really see stupid shit. Like, when I say stupid shit, I mean really dumb shit. Like, people saying shit like, oh, I have a gym membership, but I'm not going. I'm paying for it, but I'm not going. You know, shit like that. You know, that's what I mean. It's like, well, goddamn! Like, if you're not a slave, if I've never seen someone say, "What does that have to do with slavery?" I'll tell you what that has to do with slavery. What that has to do with slavery is the point that you have been so battered and beaten down as a human being that you don't even have the fighting spirit in you. Like I always say, it goes back to the animal kingdom. You don't have the fighting spirit in you anymore to realize that the only way that you can get out of the depression that you're in, and the only way you can get those goals met that you need, is to go to that gym and use your fucking membership. Even if you don't go to that gym, what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to take the money that you're spending for that membership, take it out, invest it into the type of equipment and things, take the physical time in the day to look online, watch YouTube videos, research what exercises you can do outside of a gym, where and how, and then invest that money into certain tools that you need to do those workouts, like I said, maybe in your house, maybe at a park, maybe in the woods, maybe you're lucky enough that you actually have a house and you have a big yard or whatever, you know what I mean? You find a way. The point is, what you have to do is you have to get off of that train track that you're on, that track of like, I am lazy, I'm paying for gym membership, but I'm not going, and then claim I'm depressed. You know what I mean? And then wonder why, I'm some man and my pant size keeps getting bigger at the gut line and I have no physique and I have this low self-esteem and blah 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 and girls are looking at me like this and blah 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 blah, right? And it's negative. You know, it's just some dumb shit. It's like, motherfucker, come on. You know what I mean? Like me, I don't have a gym membership. You wanna know why Steve doesn't have a gym membership? I'm gonna explain this. You know why I don't? Take it, sorry. It's because I don't want to pay for this shit, right? It's not that I don't want to use the equipment, because I work out, motherfucker. I work out at home. I work out at the park. I work out in wherever I find opportune place and timing in whatever needs I need met. I go to that said location, get done what I need done, and then I go the fuck home, just like you would a gym, right? Now, at some point, I may have enough money to buy a gym membership and feel confident in that I can keep paying it, and it's not a lot for me to pay, and I can drive there and drive back home, and I would do that, right? But I'll tell you one thing that I won't do, because like I said, that spirit in me has not died, that primal force is not dead. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, well, I'm just not going to do anything. That's the difference, okay? This is what this rant is, what I'm talking about, okay? The point is, when you allow, however this happened, because it can happen many ways, but the thing is, when you allow something to enforce its will on you like that, like it's like, okay, you're just gonna we're just gonna let our spirits die now. We're just gonna become slaves, and we're gonna become so bred into this thing that we're not gonna realize that we're actually slaves. We're just gonna think that like, this is not that unusual, or we're gonna say, well, I'm just gonna accept it. Well, okay then. If you wanna accept shit like that, then that's okay, I guess. But it's just not me. It's just it would never be me. You know what I mean? It's just never me. You know, so that's just how I look at it. Like someone will look at a guy like me and they'll say, "Oh well, you know, all that working out you're doing is for nothing because first off, without steroids, you'll never really be big, motherfucker, and you're just gonna be an old man eventually. You're already almost 35, so." And I'm thinking, well, okay, so I get what you're saying, but you gotta understand this. from me, by the time, like, obviously I'm not dead yet, right? So, don't you think it would make sense for me to be the best version of myself while I'm still alive, you stupid motherfucker? You ever thought of it like that? You ever thought of, like, it's better than nothing? Like, so, at the end of the day, this isn't even a fitness rant, but it's turning into one. It's like, I'm just saying this because it's a big thing. It's like, go to the fucking gym at the end of the day. And I'm not talking about you people out there that obviously you don't need to go to no gym. I know many of you don't need to go to no gym. I know that. But I'm talking about those who talk and say things and complain. I've ranted on this I feel like I've ranted on this too many times, man. Especially men. I want a tone. It's like, damn, you motherfuckers are so obsessed with that shit. Like, I want a tone. You want a tone, huh? Huh. Okay. Well, what are you waiting for? Christmas? You're waiting for a miracle from heaven or something? For Jesus to supposedly come back or something? That's what you're waiting for? God damn. It's like, so you mean to tell me you don't understand that what you have to do is you have to bust your ass. When I say bust your ass, I mean you have to bust your ass. You have to bust your ass. If you want that type of shit, you have to bust your ass, lean down. People are probably going to make fun of you because the thing was, this is going to hurt some people's feelings, but I'm going to keep it real. People are going to look at you and they're going to say, huh, oh, you look skinny, or you look this, or you look that, right? Because the thing was, when you thought you were big, but actually it was all fat anyway, motherfucker, and you ain't big, you know what I mean? I laughed one time, I'm not going to call out any names, but I had some guy say some shit, right? A male said some shit. He said some shit like, I don't know if he said it jokingly or if he was serious, but he said he was a big boy, and this motherfucker only weighed 180 pounds. And you gotta understand, 180 pounds ain't shit. When I was on medication and I was actually starting to gain fat, like I gained a little bit of muscle, but I was mostly gaining fat, I was weighing 171 pounds. You know what most of that weight was? It was just fat, you dumb motherfucker! It wasn't muscle, it wasn't solid muscle, it wasn't ripped, it wasn't lean. It was just, how do you say it? It was like a, counterproductive. It was just making me slow, sluggish, tireder, puffy cheeks, starting to have fat on the chest, starting to develop a gut, all type of dumb shit. It just didn't look good. It was, shit. And this motherfucker that, I'm not gonna say any names because this is not a rant to bash, but I just have to use this as an example because it's just, this has to be said because this just helps the rant. This motherfucker was one of those, like, skinny, puny, skinny fat people. So it's like, literally someone who physically is smaller than I am, but just had fat in mostly all the wrong places to weigh 180 pounds. Do you get the point there, what I'm trying to say? That is not big. Now, if I was 180 pounds, right? Like right now, like if I was 180 pounds with my leanness, I would be a pretty ripped, kind of intimidating, slim motherfucker. I would look like, what's his name? I would almost look like, someone like Tao Physique. You know who Tao Physique is? You know, that type of look. You know, it's like, so, what the fuck? You know why Tao Physique looks like that? Because he trained his fucking ass off, that's why. Tao Physique is probably, well, he's actually 100, last time I seen a video, Tao Physique was probably talking about being like almost 190 pounds. Yeah, 190. But you gotta understand, 190 pounds, lean, right? Lean, with that type of training, makes you have a certain look, and I would consider that big. Now that's because that's a different type of big, and you gotta understand. I'll also tell you this: Tao Physique can probably squat, right? He can probably squat almost damn near 300 pounds. Do you get the picture? Why do you think that is? Tao Physique is like living a real. He's like Tarzan. He's like the Disney Tarzan. But he's like a black or whatever he is, a brown skin. He's like fucking Tarzan. The motherfucker. He's like a comic book character. It's like, what the fuck. So why do you think that is, right? Why the fuck do you think you just sat around and no? The motherfucker trains his ass off. I mean, this motherfucker used to lift weights, then he's doing calisthenics, he's doing weighted calisthenics, he's doing all that shit. That shit is almost like a fucking full-time job to fucking look like that. And this guy is on point. When I say on point with his diet, shout out to Tao Fleet, man. This guy is on point with his fucking diet. That's why he looks like that, man. That's why he's that fucking strong. The guy is strong as a fucking bull. You know what I mean? The funny thing is, a guy like that too, you would think he wasn't as strong as he was. Okay, it's deceptive too. So there's actual real power there. It's not just like, you know, he's just some strong looking guy. No, the motherfucker's strong as shit. So I'm just saying, this whole culture, this whole modern human culture of I'm just gonna be lazy, or I'm not gonna do this, I'm not, you know, I'm gonna cause I mean, like, God, I have to say, like, how in the world? Let me ask you this, right? I know there's a point of not doing something that makes sense. But tell me this, how do you pay to not do something? You feel me? Did you just catch that? That's like, I'm paying for this, but I'm not going to use it. I'm doing, like, that's almost like insulting your own self. That's all I have to say about that. You got my point? I'm not trying to be mean. And I'm not mentioning, like, a lot of names or anything, because this is not a rant about, like, specific people or anything. This is a rant to make a point. And this point, the point I'm trying to make is that we're dealing with a lot of broken people here. That's the point I'm making. People are incredibly broken, and there's reasons for this, okay? And a lot of the reason for it is not all their fault, because like I said, it's the way of this world, it's institutions, it's society, it's the way that people are programmed. They think something's okay, they think it's normal, so there's like this little voice in their head, there's like this tiny little voice that's like saying, hey, you have to change this. It's like you have to change this to even have a glimpse of happiness, or you will never rest until you change this, or saying, hey, maybe you will find peace. It's just that this is open to you if you're going to take it. Like, if you're going to go down this path, then, you know, there's something there for you, right? But unless you listen to that voice,
you ready to start fighting for
like I said, unless you listen to that voice, then you will not reap the benefits of that path.
Come on, man.
I'm just telling you the truth, okay? I'm just telling you the truth. And I also am going to talk on this. I kind of spoke on this in the rant before. So, like, for instance, you know, in Satanism, they say, be dangerous even in defeat. Be as a lion in the path. Okay, so, you know, the point is, you know, you're supposed to be a vicious motherfucker. You have to have some strength about you. You have to have toughness. You can't just be, oh, you know, I'm just gonna let this just blow over. I'm just gonna go down like a punk. I'm just gonna, you know, that's not the way it goes. You know, that's not the way it fucking goes. And I'm gonna tell you know what, I feel like I just felt like I want to get a little bit mean, because I just had a thought, like, I'm like, fuck this bullshit, man. So for you men and women, I'll try to be nice and put women in there too, to try to be fair.
Fighting for real?
If you're one of these motherfuckers, and someone will say, oh, well, what about yourself? Well, this is why I do things like won't hang out with this friend or that friend or do that. I'm going to focus on myself. I'm going to try to build up my body, work out, look good, try to find this, try to make money, try to find a girl, try to do things like this, because I don't want to be that sorry motherfucker that is just run over by everybody and can't compete with anything. You know what I mean? Because that's the type of shit I'm talking about. I see motherfuckers, they're like, oh, I'm depressed, I'm this, or this, I'm that, and I'm thinking, well, you gotta understand that people like you are like that, right? Because, you know, people like you are like that because you're weak. That's the whole thing. It's that you're weak. It's that you're not going to try to aspire towards something more. Like, for instance, right? It could be a girl. I don't see this a lot with girls, but this does happen with girls sometimes. Once in a blue moon I see this. A girl will be like, oh, you know, I just can't find a man. You know, shout out to all the girls who always have men. I know some of you girls out there know that I've been trying to, you know, that I be trying to bark up your tree. You know me personally, and you're like, man, I know if I was ever let Steve have at it, Steve would jump on me, you know. Well, I'm not talking about girls like that. I'm not talking about girls like you. I'm talking about these girls that are busted. They don't even get attention from men, and they know why. They know that they literally are in a category. They already know they already are unattractive by birth. They already are busted, already unattractive. Not a lot of guys type, and they ain't gonna do nothing about it. You know what I mean? They don't want to try to, like, maybe change their body if they can. They don't try to dress up. They don't try to change their styles up, like how they dress. You know, they don't try to change their hygiene. They don't, you know, it's like they don't want to, so they, okay, I get it. And you know what? I also have to say, hey, if you think that you don't have to change, that's okay, because maybe you don't have to change anything. Maybe you'll find a higher value person, or what you consider higher value, by just doing nothing different. Maybe that's fine. Maybe that'll happen. I don't know. But I also don't see it happening with a lot of people, and I see like destruction. It's literally, you know, I'll even be real. I'm a mean, evil motherfucker. Sometimes I think the shit is funny. I kind of laugh at it. I'm like, man, I kind of would like to see you suffer, because you're a little pussy motherfucker. You feel me? I see that shit sometimes with men and women. I'm thinking, you know what? You're a pussy motherfucker, and I like to see you in pain, because motherfuckers like you, I'll eat you for breakfast. I'll literally run all over you. You can't compete with me, motherfucker. And you can't compete with dirt. You're just, and if you do get anything, you're probably just fucking lucky, because you ain't worth shit. And someone will say, what do you mean ain't worth? I actually don't really mean that, obviously. You know what I mean? Not that you're not worth anything. What I'm saying is that you are so dime a dozen that it's almost like you don't really, people don't really usually want that type of shit. Like, I hear people complain more about that shit. Like, guys want to sit and play video games all day. Guys don't want to be in shape. You know, guys want to be funky, don't want to have good hygiene. It's like, girls don't want that shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know a girl that's into that. I just hear girls complain about that type of shit. Now, luckily, I don't have those attributes. Like, I'm not funky. I wash my fucking ass. I don't play video games. I play Mugen once in a blue. I don't really sit there, and I don't even own a console, however the fuck you say it. So, I'm like, yo, this is like small shit that has big buildup. Does that make sense to you? You get what I'm saying? It's like, you could still play video games, and you can still, like, at least try to not spend all your time doing that shit. Or, like, for instance, you know what I mean? You could play video games, you could work out, but you don't have to have bad hygiene now. You know? Like, you could brush your teeth, you can wash the crack of your fucking stank booty ass, you can wash the cheese out your fucking dick and balls area, you can like put lotion on your skin so you're not a sandpaper beast that looks like you came out of a swamp or something. You don't have to smell like a swamp. You know, it's like you don't have to not brush your teeth until your teeth smell all rotted out. Like, goddamn. Like, I have one rotten tooth in a cavity, but my tooth is not rotten to the core. It still looks like a tooth. It just has a small hole in it. And sometimes it makes my breath smell not as nice as it would. But I handle that shit, and I keep that shit under wraps and try to take care of it, right? That's my whole point. It's like, I talked one time I was outside, right? And I met up with two people. I'm not going to mention who these people were. But the male, right? The male person, he opened his mouth, and his almost all his teeth were rotted as fuck. And I'm thinking, God damn. You've had councils, systems. You mean to tell me at no point did you actually figure maybe you might want to try to invest in getting some fucking insurance and get your fucking teeth? Like, how did you maybe not do drugs, maybe brush your teeth? I don't know, motherfucker. You get what I'm saying though? It's like, god damn. God damn. It's like if I'm not ripping on this. I'm not trying to rip on this individual. But what I'm saying is, you're already fighting against yourself. Like, picture this, right? I'm not the most handsome motherfucker in the world, but at least I was luckily being born to be 6'2", so I don't have those. I'm not 5 foot this and got almost no teeth. Do you feel me? You see what I'm trying to I'm trying to explain, like, why are you just making your position even worse on yourself? It's like, so you mean to tell me you're out of shape, 5 foot this, no teeth, you won't even go to the gym nor fix your teeth? You get what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be mean, I'm just trying to keep it real and trying to say some shit that, like, that maybe someone can understand. I'm yelling into a fucking microphone right now, like a jackass. But it's because type of shit like that makes me mad when I see it. Because I'm thinking like, well, god damn it, here I am, trying to work out, trying to do this shit, trying to even possibly be able to get in a position to try to compete with other men for a woman. And then you got motherfuckers out here, I've said this probably 1,000 times, then you got motherfuckers out here doing some straight up gay shit. And I don't mean gay like homosexual, I don't mean like that, but I know some of you motherfuckers are. And that's fine, it's okay if you're gay. But what I'm saying is, you motherfuckers are doing dumb shit. Like, you're out here wasting your money on video games and not going to gyms, and you're doing all type of crazy shit. It's like, damn. Now, I'll give it to you. Every girl's different. There are some girls that they don't give two fucks. You don't need to try to have abs and, you know, pecs and shoulders and you don't need to try to get like muscular and trying to look like a fucking, you know, male stripper or some shit. You know, because shit, like at a certain point in my life, I'm going to keep working out. I'm going to keep working. Eventually, at some point, I'm going to build a physique. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to bust out. I'm going to bust out looking like I said, like on some male stripper Tao physique type of shit. Like on some Tarzan shit, you know? And like, obviously, at that point, or even anything close to that, obviously, that makes more sense that a woman would be attracted to that shit. Now, I know women have all their different types, and I know some women are like, oh, I like the dad bods. I like these 5 foot motherfuckers that have titties, that got like these woman titties and shit, and got fucking guts and shit, and roll all types of rolls. I like that type of look. Well, okay, that's fine. Okay, nothing's wrong with that. But the thing is this, is that I don't really normally I don't see women gawking over no shit like that. You know what I mean? I don't see women acting a certain type. I don't see their eyes lighting up off no shit like that, man. Usually if I see women dating some motherfuckers like that, it's usually for like a couple reasons. It's usually women who have very, very low self-esteem, have very, very poor looks, and I don't know, it just seems like they just can't seem to get much better than that. And that man that's with them probably would want better. Trust me. Someone will say, what are you talking about? Motherfucker, I've seen this more than once. I've seen this shit more than once. That type of shit, I've seen it men with women. It's like, I know that these men would want this or that, but the thing is, they just can't. They just don't. They just generally don't attract girls that would want them. You know what I mean? they attract something that would want them, but the thing that they attract is not really of much value. You know, someone say, "What do you mean that's so cold?" Motherfucker, there's literal ice in my fucking veins. I don't, it's like, is that cool? You know why I say shit like that? I say shit like that because, look, I'll put it to you like this, right? I say that shit because it's not cold, it's just reality. Just as much as like a girl could reject me and say, "No, you're not my type. No, you just don't make the cut. Yeah, you're just not attractive enough. You know, I'm just not into you. You just don't do it. You know, you just don't." I can say that. So if a girl can say the same shit about me, I can say the same shit about any other person. I can keep it real. I can say, "Hey, you're low value. Nobody wants that shit. I'm not into that. I'm not into you. Okay? I'm not into that type of shit. You know? I've seen girls that literally, to me, they look like they just look horrible. Horrible. I've seen it. I've seen that shit. You know? And 98% of the time, if a girl looks like that, you probably don't even know I exist. You know what I mean? Because, like, girls that I talk to or that I approach or that, like, I try to carry a conversation on with, you know, even, like, even girls that are in my fucking even friends list on Facebook, it's like 98% of the time, I look at you, like, in a much higher esteemed way. Like, you know, I don't consider you, unattractive, and it's not like you're some low on the bar little thing, but I have seen some very gross low on the bar little things in my life. Not just like me, not me personally, because I would never even sexually get involved with no shit like that, because it's just, to me, it's just gross. But I've seen ugly bitches, right? I've seen ugly bitches fuck ugly dudes, and I've seen ugly dudes fuck ugly bitches. And I've seen said men and things complain and shit, right? Complain, "I don't like this, I don't like that." I'm probably about to cut them. This shit is going on for too long. And then they say, "Oh, well, I don't like this, or I don't like that, or I'm depressed," or I'm thinking, well, so you're depressed, huh? You know what's depressing to me? Always being the third wheel. You know what's depressing to me? Already knowing that I'm a oddity and a acquired taste, not a common taste, knowing that I am black, I am not super young, I'm not super handsome, I'm nothing super about me already, and always being a third wheel, being rejected many times, also on, how do I say this? Also always being in the presence of either women that are married, have boyfriends, have this, have that, and, you know, I am always looked over, don't ever seem to fall in the category to where I can have the girlfriend or be the guy with the girlfriend or the wife or this or that. So what I'm trying to say is this, man. Now, that shit is depressing to me, right? Right? That shit is obviously world-shatteringly depressing to me on a daily basis. But on the same coin, right? On the same coin. And I also have to say this is like how, you know, on the same coin, men could say, "Oh, well, you know, I'm depressed, I'm this, I'm that." Yeah, but I get it, right? You're depressed, you're this or that also, right? But what are you going to do about it? Or what have you done? What are you currently doing to try to get out of that hole? See, because like I said before, we live in a world to where people want to try to put you in a box. People want to try to enslave, prison you, control you, and change you into something that you're not even. That's what people like to do. Humans just love doing that shit. They always have. I hopefully wouldn't say they always will, but that's always the way they are. People like to try to do that shit all the time. So you gotta understand, like, are you going to allow that to happen? Even like subtly? Or are you going to realize, you know what, I'm gonna hear that voice and listen, and I'm actually going to take action. Because I have to fight, that's the word, yeah. I have to fight to give myself a fighting chance. Because if I don't fight to give myself a fighting chance, there's no one else is going to fight for me. That's how I look at it, like with myself, like I said. I've been, always the third wheel, that one black guy, and yada yada, and so on and so forth. So, at least I have to try to give myself a fighting chance in many ways, many directions. Because, like, no one else is going to do anything for me. Nor should they. Do you get what I'm saying? This has gone on long enough. This rant is long enough, man. So this rant has gone on long enough. I hope you got kind of the point. I went in a lot of different places, but okay, I don't want to make it this long, but I'm gonna make it a little longer just to say this, to explain it maybe in a more spiritual way, because I realize not everyone listens to just like if I say it a certain way. Maybe if I say it in like a more spiritual way, people get it. Okay, you can't let like your primal fighting spirit, you can't let your spirit be broken. So much so that you are that broken that you're just like, I don't know, man, maybe another day. I'll take small steps. I'll just make small changes and no, motherfucker. Cold turkey, hardcore, go all in. And completely just turn it all around. That's what you need to do. No pussyfooting, no pussy shit, no, I'm gonna start. No. What you're gonna do is you're just gonna go in, hit the ground running. You're going to go all in, all out, and start changing things. And then you're going to develop a disgust. Because this is like, I'm using myself as an example. You start to develop a disgust for that energy that is not what you're trying to become. Like you get disgusted by that shit. It's like you're disgusted when you see someone who, let's say you're on a dating site and a girl sends you a message to where she said some shit, and this happened to me. I'm actually gonna fuck it. I'm gonna let this thing. I'm gonna let this thing roll a little bit longer. But it's just more coming out than I thought that I have to talk about, because I have to use this example. So I was on a dating site, and a girl said some shit to me. She said the craziest shit, and it's only crazy because she was so unattractive. And I was thinking, like, is this lady really serious? Is she even really serious that she thinks that her fucking busted ass, or the lack thereof, she really thinks that I'm going, like, what? She said some shit like, oh, if me and you were together, I would be giving it to you every day. And I basically told her some shit like, what makes you think I even, like, what makes me even think I want that shit from you? There's nothing about you that's attractive. Just, sorry, but to be realistic, there's nothing about you that's attractive. Like, I don't even want that shit. Oh, so it's like, she basically tried to say, like, she doesn't want a relationship based just on sex. But on the same coin, she said she could get sex from any guy she's talking to on the dating site. Bullshit, bitch! No, you can't. You're lying. Because I seen you. And luckily, I'm going to be nice enough not to put a picture up in this video of that person, because that would just be me being a jackass. And I'm not going to do that shit. But I'm going to say this. I'll describe her a little bit. She's like, she's one of those people to where she's, you know, she's built like a fridge. She's square. She's overweight. She's big, but not in the right way. She's not like storing the fat in the preferred places. You know, she's not like an ass and hips type of chick. She's just big, blocky, square, and overweight. And, you know, she has a picture of her son as a goddamn profile picture. Like, yo, what the like, you can't even have a nice little face pic. Like, I understand. Look, I actually give all respect to a woman that cares for their kid and they place their kid highly, right? I respect that to death, right? But I'm just saying this to keep it real. If you're trying to attract men in a way, like you're trying to be sexually attractive and look presentable and look available, you at least take a nice picture of yourself and use it as your picture in all places, right? Do not do this dumb shit. This is what I mean. It insults me because it's so lazy and so haphazard. It's like, oh, so you don't even want to try. You just want to be sloppy and just think that you're just gonna. That's an insult to me. You gotta understand. First off, like I said, it doesn't matter that I'm not what do you call it, above average. That I'm not the handsomest guy. When I like try to improve myself, like when I'm working out, I fucking put my all into that shit. I'm working hard, motherfucker. It takes work. It ain't no haphazard, lazy, sloppy shit. So don't come at me with that sloppy shit. Like, don't try to come at me with some, oh, you know, bitch, at the most, you be lucky if I fucked you, bitch. God damn. Do you get what I'm saying? God damn. I'm just saying, this person it's some dumb shit. It's like, you be lucky if I fucked you, you stupid bitch. She said, if we were together. I'm like, I'll be goddamn. You don't even have a profile picture of yourself. You got a picture of your son as your profile picture. I mean, you don't even take pictures in the right, what do you call it, right, shots, positions, and shit. You don't even try to showcase yourself properly. I'm not saying you have to be hoish about it, but you can be, what's the word? You can be classy about it, but you have to at least show a man that, like, is there anything that he wants physically when he looks at you? It's like, even if it's just a face, it doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be a full body pic. Now, it should be, but I'm saying at least a pretty face pic, right? I'm just being real. Literally, I see many, like, Facebook pictures, like, just, you know, profile bubble, the avatar, whatever, little bubble, where it'll just be a nice face pic, and it's very, very pretty, and it is very attractive, right? When these women do that. That's all you need right there, man. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't need to be, like, something fucking crazy. It just needs to be, like, more than a picture of your goddamn son as your profile picture. When you texted me, I didn't even know it was you, bitch, because I saw a picture of a fucking teen-looking boy. It looked like and I'm like, who the fuck is this? Why is it? I joked around with someone at my job, and I said, why is there a teen boy in my inbox? I am not Herbert. I am not gay. I am not a pedo. Their teen boys should not be in my inbox. Why is there a teen boy in my inbox, bro? And it was the woman. I'm thinking, oh, she used her son's picture as her. I mean, does your son know that? Does your son know that he is the picture in your fucking messenger? Are you talking to guys online, horny men, or in Messenger, and they have to scroll through your pictures to find a picture of you to fap to? I was just joking around. I didn't have to go that far, but there ain't nothing to fap to there. But, you know, god damn, and this thing has gone too long, way over the mark. I shouldn't even have to say more than that. I said enough, man. I have said enough. I've wasted my breath. So, This is Steve's Art and Fun channel. I don't even know what I'm going to call this rant. This is real shit, I'm telling you. It's supposed to hurt you. It's real. It's supposed to get you worked up, and so you're actually supposed to do something. So do something about it. Don't just sit there and be broken and just, you know, bend over and get rammed up the booty hole like you're some hoe or something. Because that's what you guys are doing at this point. You ain't doing shit but that. Like, comment, and sub. This is Steve's Art and Fun channel. That's the end of the rant. Have a nice fucking day.